Well, they were once something that no driver or hiker left home without, but hard copy paper maps are going the way of many tangible items in this digital age.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 things from the aughts that used to be thebomb.com, but today are totally old school.
Whose ringtone is Barracuda?
Number 20. Jessica Simpson's Dessert Beauty.
Fans in New York this weekend lined up for the unveiling of her new line of edible cosmetics.
One of the biggest stars of the early 2000s, Jessica Simpson had a horde of fans ready to buy anything she put her name on. In 2004, Simpson launched Dessert Beauty, a line of edible cosmetics in a variety of saccharine scents and flavors. There was everything from shimmering, kissable hair and body fragrance to the whipped body cream that came with sprinkles no one knew what to do with. We obviously had to get our hands on every cupcake-scented product this line offered. Unfortunately, legal battles led to the brand and its offshoots being discontinued. A perfect encapsulation of the cutesy, sexy, and girly vibe of the early aughts, Dessert Beauty is now obsolete, but sorely missed.
So it moisturizes, huh? It's a good moisturizer, or you can even shave your legs with it. Yummy.
Put it on your pudding.
Number 19. Watching TV shows on DVD box sets.
Plus never-before-seen footage by Veronica Mars, the complete first season, now on DVD.
Since streaming became mainstream, DVDs have slowly become obsolete. Before streaming services allowed us to binge-watch TV shows all in one sitting, the main option for watching your favorite TV episodes on demand was massive DVD box sets. The multi-disc sets looked impressive on a shelf and were often sought-after collector's items.
All packaged in nice hardcover books, and they also give you a copy of the script from the last episode.
Today, most people consider DVD box sets expensive and unnecessary, but as Netflix and other streaming services quietly remove beloved series, some are turning back to this old-school technology. Like records in the 2010s, DVDs might be the new hot physical media for collectors. Number 18. T9 texting.
999-666-88, 555-666-888-33, 5444-622-33777, 555-999.
What was worse, having to click 7 4 times to type one letter S, or having to go back to fix an incorrect T9 text prediction? Thankfully, we don't have to put up with either of these clunky typing systems anymore. But back in the 2000s, we had no choice. T9 texting was intended to speed up the time-consuming process of using the 3x4 numeric keypads common to the cell phones of the early aughts. But it was frustrating when a poorly predicted text slowed things down altogether. It was remarkable how fast we were still able to fire off messages in the face of so many obstacles. Today's youth have it easy. Number 17. Play Dance Dance Revolution in an arcade. Dance Dance Revolution was truly a revolution in arcade technology, or at least it felt like one. First released in Japan in 1998, this step coordination game quickly took the world by storm. It seemed like it was impossible to find a DDR game in an arcade without a line of players, but we were still happy to wait. Though less popular today, it still maintains a small following of dedicated fans and players who compete in tournaments around the world. As for the rest of us, we no longer head down to the arcade with our friends for a fiercely competitive DDR session. The game will forever remain a fond memory from our youth, though. Number 16. Drink Sobe.
Want my Sobe? Really? You can have it.
Hey.
The coolest choice for a beverage on a hot day in the aughts was by far the brightly colored drinks in glass bottles with the sick lizard design. We're talking, of course, about Sobe. The line of teas, juices, and flavored waters were ubiquitous in convenience stores in the 2000s. By now, you're probably realizing it's been a while since you've seen their products on shelves and wondering, what happened? To begin, PepsiCo, Sobe's parent company, opted for plastic packaging in 2007, causing the product to lose some of its classic feel.
Naturally sweetened, wildly delicious.
Sobe was having a hard time financially, eventually being removed from stores. Now, the drinks are incredibly difficult to locate. Number 15. Watch Style Network.
It's putting it all together. Almost. Maybe. Perfect.
Before influencers and the curated algorithm of Pinterest, fashion-forward individuals of the early 2000s learned of the latest trends through Style Network, a spin-off of E! Launched in 1998. It featured a variety of fashion-centric and makeover programming like the Look for Less and Clean House.
They're pack rats ready to clean up their act.
I'll do it!
The Clean House team will help them confront their clutter.
We'll lose all this riffraff.
The channel rebranded as the decade neared its close, ultimately becoming Esquire Network in 2013. It broadened its focus, expanding to cover sports, travel, and more. The unexpected change upset both viewers and stars of the Style Network due to the sudden cancellation of beloved shows. The rebrand was largely unsuccessful, and Esquire Network was pulled from television in 2017. Number 14. MySpace.
Entering the digital landscape of 2006, it's impossible to overlook the buzz surrounding MySpace.
For many of us, MySpace was our first foray into the world of social media. Though similar in some ways to the social networks of today, there were some elements we'd never dream of using again. Navigating the social landmine of changing your top 8, a ranking of your 8 closest friends, was a new kind of stress we were not prepared to deal with. Pages were customizable, as long as you learned to use HTML. Curating a perfect MySpace page with accompanying music was time-consuming but seemed important at the time. Who has the energy to put that much effort into their many social media platforms today? Number 13. Pay for ringtones. Before we all collectively decided to keep our phones on vibrate permanently, having a unique ringtone was a status symbol.
Whose ringtone is Barracuda?
It meant you either shelled out the roughly $2.50 or you recorded it directly from the radio after waiting for your favorite song to come on.
Go crazy and get the Crazy Frog as a ringtone on your mobile now.
Today, hearing even a default ringtone played out loud is a rarity, let alone a custom one. The rise of smartphones, with all of their many apps and notifications, has made it a necessity to keep your phone on silent most of the time. Plus, with the age of streaming making nearly all music easily accessible, the novelty of a special song as your ringtone just isn't worth the money. Number 12. Chain emails.
I was just checking my emails. I didn't know it would be full of curses.
All right, calm down. All we need to do is send that to 10 friends or foes by sunrise, and the curse will be lifted.
Quick, send this video to 10 friends or you'll have bad luck for a year. While there's still plenty of spam clogging our inboxes on a daily basis these days, chain emails were unique in that they came directly from friends and family. With a message urging you to forward this email for good luck or to avoid bad luck or any other fake consequence, they ranged from harmless to seriously annoying.
Email this to 15 people or you'll have bad luck forever? Oh no, I better send this to my whole contact list, just to be safe.
Today, email is used less for socializing and more for serious matters like work or online shopping order confirmations. As a result, the frivolous chain email has slowly fallen out of fashion, a relic of the internet's youth. Number 11. Use a paper map.
Well, they were once something that no driver or hiker left home without, but hard copy paper maps are going the way of many tangible items in this digital age of smartphones, GPS, and countless apps.
For better or for worse, almost no one needs to use a physical map these days. With the advent of smartphones with built-in GPS apps, we can easily find walking, driving, or public transit routes to any destination we wish to reach. This feature has become so ubiquitous we've almost forgotten what a hassle clunky paper maps that were impossible to fold back up were. Granted, it's still a good idea to keep a paper map in your car in case of emergencies or if you're headed to a remote location.
It's a great backup, having a map and a compass. You're not going to run out of battery.
But it's unlikely this humble navigation tool will ever be an essential travel item again. Number 10. Netflix DVDs. Before streaming, the way we used Netflix was by renting DVDs through the mail.
What's going on here?
We would curate our queues carefully, hoping that none of the movies we wanted to see had a very long wait. In a time when physical rental stores reigned supreme, being able to get just about any DVD we could think of by mail, with no late fees, felt like a miracle.
Go to Netflix.com, make a list of the movies you want to see, and in about one business day, you'll get 3 DVDs. Keep them as long as you want, without late fees.
And if something wasn't available on Netflix's streaming service, waiting a few days for the DVD wasn't a bad trade-off. You can still rent discs through Netflix, but their library has diminished significantly. We love the convenience of streaming, but we still miss the excitement of getting one of those red envelopes in the mail.
Return one in this prepaid envelope, and they'll automatically send you another movie from your list.
Number 9. Burning mixed CDs. We know it wasn't exactly legal, but it's hard to describe the thrill of putting your favorite songs on a blank CD, especially if it was for your crush.
For a lot of people, the most common CD to burn is an audio CD. If you already have digital music on your computer, such as MP3 files and WMA files, you can use Windows Media Player to burn an audio CD that you can play on any CD player.
The previous generation had to record songs off the radio, so this felt like we were truly in the future.
Is your music burning on a Mac?
But there were still some kinks to work out. One of the worst experiences was receiving a burn error message right before the CD was finished. But if it all went well, these mixes soon became fixtures in our portable CD players and boomboxes.
The Sony Sports Discman, tough enough to keep playing hit after hit.
We don't know where they went, but they were arguably the best compilations ever made. Number 8. The Atkins Diet. Dr. Robert Atkins created his eponymous diet in the 60s, but the 2000s is when the craze really took over.
So it really changed my energy level, and it changed a lot of things, and so I decided to put other people on it. And
the rest is history.
Some had the misconception that all you need to do on Atkins was avoid carbs and then you'd lose weight. But it required more discipline than simply eating bacon instead of bread.
The hell is that, a baggie full of bacon?
I'm on Atkins.
What?
Some followers were even restricting essential foods like certain vegetables because they had carbs. Numerous medical associations criticized the diet for its impracticality, and it's doubtful it can cause long-term weight loss.
I'm doing Atkins. In the first 6 weeks, I lost 23 pounds. Then I went to 30 pounds I lost. And then Christmas came. And then I put on 5 pounds.
It happens.
But let me tell you, I am now back in my jeans.
If you're looking to lose weight for good, it's going to take more than a fad diet. Number 7. Using LimeWire. To find songs for our mixed CDs, we need to rely on peer-to-peer file sharing services such as LimeWire.
The software itself was a Java application that you simply downloaded for free from LimeWire.com. There was also a paid version called LimeWire Pro that promised faster speeds and better search results, but most people just went with the free basic version.
But even though we were getting these songs for free, it wasn't always a cakewalk. Sometimes we'd find the song we want, but it was a low-quality version taken from the radio. Other times, the song would be completely mislabeled, and we were led to believe that Bob Marley wrote Don't Worry, Be Happy rather than Bobby McFerrin.
Don't worry, be happy.
And then there was the possibility of downloading a virus to the family computer.
Damn LimeWire!
The generation growing up on Spotify doesn't know how easy they have it. Number 6. Scene. Did you spend much of the 2000s at Hot Topic hoping others would notice how cool your bright pink hair and eyeliner were?
Oh, Hot Topic? When did this open?
2 weeks ago. It used to be a banana republic.
Of course. Freaking Hot Topic. That explains everything.
If so, you probably considered yourself a scene kid. Like many other youth-led subcultures, scene thrived on defiance of the status quo, even if it meant trying to fit in with countless other scene kids. Music was another core part of scene identity, with emo and pop-punk bands like My Chemical Romance and Paramore making so many young millennials feel heard. Okay, maybe it was just a phase, but it was still a healthy stage of adolescent development, even if we don't go so hard on the mascara now. Number 5. Playing Minesweeper. Parents won't buy you a PlayStation or Xbox? Well, there are still plenty of other ways to be a gamer, like playing Minesweeper, for instance.
And there are 10 mines in it. And what your goal is to do is to cover up those mines and basically not lose.
If your computer had Windows, then you probably remember many rainy afternoons of clicking on squares trying not to get blown up, figuratively speaking. At first, we would just click around randomly, but we eventually started using our critical thinking skills. Of course, sometimes we had to guess and it would backfire.
That you just have to get really used to seeing and just, making sure you're careful, because if you try to go too fast,
you will be not careful and end up losing.
But if the internet was down and there was nothing on TV, a game of Minesweeper, or 10, was a decent solution. You can still download the app on your phone. But in such a competitive market for mobile gaming, Minesweeper will always feel retro.
Where's a Minesweeper? I can play for days. Once you see my sweet moves, you're gonna stay amazed. My fingers moving so fast, I'll set the place ablaze.
Number 4. iPods. Want to feel old? The original iPod turned 20 years old in October 2021. We cannot overstate how much of a game changer this was when it came to listening to music.
Basically, if you want to compete with Apple on this thing now, you gotta have an iPod knockoff. You can't do something much different. So it's changed the world that way.
To be able to fit hundreds of songs into one device that could fit into your pocket was like discovering fire.
But the biggest thing about iPod is it holds 1,000 songs. Now, this is a quantum leap because for most people, it's their entire music library.
Sure, it was a bit clunkier than later models and you couldn't make phone calls or surf the web on it, but that didn't matter when you were able to soundtrack your life like never before. And who can forget the sound of the click wheel as we looked for the perfect song? The iPod reminded us why we love music all over again. Number 3. Watching TRL. Appointment viewing has changed a lot since the 2000s. Now we're binge-watching thought-provoking shows like Squid Game, but back in the day, we raced home to see brief snippets of music videos play while a studio audience screamed.
And I'm joined now by the one and only Britney Spears.
MTV's Total Request Live, or TRL, was a daily countdown show where the top 10 most requested videos of each day were played. Plus, all the hottest celebrities came to promote their new releases.
Mariah Carey! You gotta be kidding me. Ice cream truck!
And who didn't love watching when they left the studio for spring break and summer episodes? We always dreamed of making it to Times Square to be in the audience, but at least we did our part to vote our favorite videos to the top. Number 2. Using Razr phones. Before the iPhone, the most desirable cell phone was a Motorola Razr.
Hello, Moto.
It might have looked like an ordinary flip phone, but its ultra-thin design gave it a sleekness that outshone its clunkier competitors. And it wasn't just looks. The Razr was also ahead of the curve when it came to front-facing cameras.
The line between form and function just became razor thin. The Motorola Razr.
And there was no better way to feel stylish than with a hot pink Razr. Motorola brought back the Razr as a smartphone in 2020, but the poor reviews and ridiculously high price suggest that this phone is best kept as a fond memory of the 2000s.
They don't make 'em like me no more. They don't make 'em like me no more.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Talking on AIM. AOL Instant Messenger was the most important communication platform for so many millennials.
I poured so much time into making my profile icons cute. My away messages were just so emo, and maybe the person I'm thinking about would know that this lyric from the Smashing Pumpkins song is about them.
There was hardly anything more exciting than creating your first screen name, which was no doubt something incredibly cringy, and chatting with your friends when you should be in bed.
I would sneak down from my room and get on my family's computer and just make sure that the sound was turned off so none of the AIM sound effects would wake up my parents.
We would obsess over our away messages, get nervous about messaging our crushes, and work through our problems one message at a time. We learned what LOL, BRB, and TTYL all meant from AIM. There are other messaging platforms available now, but none fill us with the same warm feelings as this one. If we knew there was ever going to be a world without AIM, we would have shown it more appreciation. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.